It was an interesting moment for me at the time because I really wasn't seeking someone or anyone, I should say. I just hoped if I did meet someone that they would be a positive person to meet. Everything he was saying and doing was making me fall in love with him.
Custody. A lot of people quit going, that's just how it got to be. But she keeps on fighting and it takes a lot of guts. No justice, no peace!
You two are like two immature cartoon characters.
Objection. Where's any of this evidence of this?
Order!
I'm sanctioning you for $15,000.
I have a right to see my son.
This is all about a child. A poor boy born into a battle. Even with your lies, I gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive. This is not justice! No justice! No justice! No peace! No justice!
You're trying to have a judge removed.
I'll sanction her for thousands of dollars for coming to court.
How much money is Mr. K and Mr. E paying you and your fellow judges to keep this woman away from her child?
Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I've gotta survive, gonna survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I'm gonna survive. Even with your lies.
Hi, welcome to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Well, we're coming live. Oh, yes, we are. Welcome, people. Welcome. Well, I have to say it's been an interesting week. I have to thank God for getting me up this morning, give the praise, because, things are different. So I have to, be grateful for that. And, hopefully everybody else's day is good. Just remember, even if it's not that good, it's going to get better. Because I even have to say that too. It's going to get better. I don't know what all is going down, but I know I'm going to try to complete every task that I set myself for. And starting with the show, as something I like to do. So I have to be grateful for that. I like to mention that even though if today is not a good day for you, find the joy in it. Because at the end of the day, you woke up this morning and you're able to do something. Whatever that is, you're able to change. And I would love to explain to you what change means. Change means is that yesterday's gone, today is the present, and what you decide to do is different than yesterday. So you don't have to be the same yesterday, and you don't have to do the same things. Yeah, I know you go to work, you get up, you deal with family stuff, work stuff, whatever the case may be. But I always got to mention that you have the power to change your situation. I know if you don't get along with somebody, if somebody doesn't get along with you, it's hard to change them. You can change yourself and how you react to those things. And I take my own advice about that. Like, what am I doing? Am I going to react this way or do I react that way? And sometimes you just got to react because you have to. You have to do something about your situation, because if you don't, nothing's going to happen. I get it. I understand that. And that is true. You do have to do things, but try to be more positive about your situation. I always pray and I ask God to get me through whatever I got to go through today, because I need his help, because Him of Flesh deals with so many things. And like I said, I wake up and I don't know exactly what's going to hit me, who's going to call me, what I have to file, what I got to do, what's going on, who am I helping, what client am I speaking to, can I change their lives, can I impact us saying something. And I do the best I can, but I also got to take care of me. And taking care of me is making sure my cup is full before I can bring it down. You know what I mean? And I re-edit that, and I constantly want to restate that is that you have to fill up your cup. And if you don't fill up your cup, you're no good for anybody else. So with that being said, I'm always filling up my cup something for myself. And if that is walking in the park or walking or doing some type of dance, and I love dancing. And I have to give a highlight to myself because this is my birthday month. My birthday is actually October 14th, but I actually celebrate the month, and it's October. So I'm Libra. But all your Libras, happy birthday. All you October babies, happy birthday. It's your birthday. And I get excited because there's not many dates out there that you can validate. Even though I read the Bible, that doesn't mean there's dates that says when is this holiday? Is this a real holiday? Or is this, man-made, whatever the case may be. We just know that days were celebrated in 7 days, constantly going. So we have all the days of the week. But when you talk about your birthday, I always say there's validation because you have parents that was born before you. And so they know you were born on that certain day. And so why not celebrate it? I celebrate the month, and I do it in a way because I don't want to deal with a lot of things in the month of October. I try not to. So I try to like, if I can travel, I travel. I try to do things for myself and not even being selfish or self centered about that. When I say, okay, stop, hold on, do you have any type of drama or anything? I want to hold that off of November 1st. And I always gotta mention that and remind myself, stop, wait a minute. I'll try to handle somebody's situation. I'll try to give them advice. I'll try to help them as much as I can. But I'm also really thinking about, hey, this is my birthday month. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do my birthday month. And I do have a lot of things planned. It's actually going to go into November, and I'm excited about that as well, only because of scheduling. Because I'm still on my campaign tour, and the Dr. Meleeka Clary show and the Three Corners Deception that still available on Prime Video. Well, but with that being said, I always got to remind people, try to be joyful. And I try to find the joy in the things that I'm doing. And that's one of the things I'm going to celebrate me in the month of October. And anybody else who's the month of October, you should be celebrating yourself as well. And with that being said, I have a wonderful guest today. I'll come back and also mention my social medias and all the other stuff. But on that note, I'm going to take a brief commercial, and I'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. We're coming live. Hello, all. Three Corners of Deception movie is now available on Prime Video. How about that? October 14, 2023, on my 50th birthday, I am going to release this, and you guys can go ahead and help me do just that. Go see that movie. Thank you for all the support and not giving up on me. Go see that Three Corners of Deception. Release me from all the pain and everything I've been through. Go see the movie. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you for all of the support. Go see that movie. Prime Video. Prime Video. How about that? God bless you all. I love you all. It was really hard for me to do that movie sometime because at that time, because 10 years ago is what I went through. It wasn't then. So I had to take, even they say you play yourself. It's not really always easy to play yourself. You have to play yourself 10 years ago when your mind was discombobulated and you felt betrayal. You know what I mean? You felt like, life was just not it. And, not in my situation. And it is based on true events. And, unfortunately, it's about judicial deception, but it's also about romance and drama and divorce. It's something that just went to a different way. But as I changed it and went into a movie. But what's interesting about this situation, people don't understand. It's a flow technique for me. That was my release to finish this movie. Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show and Brave TV Network. We're coming live. I have a wonderful guest. Before I bring him on, I also want to say if you're looking for the Dr. Meleeka Clary, you can go to drmeleekaclary.com. That is my website, or you can find TikTok, Instagram, where is it out there? Snapchat, or just Google me, Facebook, LinkedIn, X. I'm there. So you're welcome to Google me, and you can email me. You can find my email address on my website. So please contact me. I notice a lot of people do contact me by emails, and I will get to your emails as well the next time I'm available to do that. So, with that being said, here it is. I have a wonderful guest today. I met him at the Indiana, was it Indie Liberation Center. He is a liberation, I want to say he's an activist, but he's also a psychology student. He's going to get his PhD in psychology. He's a wonderful activist. He does a lot of things for the community, and I'm just blessed to be able to meet this individual because I think he does a lot of things and because he does a lot of things, he has his own challenges. And I always say a lot about people because I research them and I find out things. And I got a chance to work with this person. Well, and I think he's an amazing individual. And the things he's doing is just wonderful. He has a beautiful heart. And I just so blessed that he agreed to be on my show. So, with that being said, I would like to invite my wonderful guest, Riley Park. Come on in here, Riley. How are you?
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're a little handsome thing, too. Look at you.
Thank you.
Hey, you
Also,
are so welcome.
also I want to wish you a happy early birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, because I'm really trying to bring it in. You know what I mean? I try to start with no drama for the October, but it seems still I have to deal with some things, unfortunately. But I try to. That's just my peppy. It's just no drama for the month of October. Catch me November 1st. We deal with it. If I want to remind myself what happened. So that's my thing. I try to live by that rule. I try hard. I really do. But things happen. We're human beings, so we still have to deal with stuff. So it is what it is, right? Hey. You know what, Riley? I of you. You are an amazing individual, and you're such a wonderful advocate for many people out there. And the things you do is just at the Indie Liberation Center, and I'm just blessed to be able to encounter someone like you, and you helping me with things too. So that was great. But what I don't know is, and my show is based on psychology, and you know about psychology because you are a PhD student. To be a soon to be a psychologist. All right, all right, all right. So kudos to you, my dear. Kudos to you. And you're welcome. And with that being said, so you know how important psychology is and dealing with your mind and your behavior and things that you have to do in life and try to maintain, being sane actually. And with that being said, I want to know, who do you identify yourself to you, because you do so many things for other people, but who is that to you? Who are you to you?
Yeah, I think for me, the way I identify myself, I am a constant work in progress. I am consistently finding out things about myself. There are things that I learn, there are things that I experience, just going through the day to day motions. And, I don't think that, like, development and progress stops at any certain age or time period.
Mhm.
That, we all kind of develop and grow as we move along in our lives. And so that's just, one thing that I'm thinking about is like consistently working in progress, learning things, doing things that are, new to me. And so, yeah.
And that must put you on a journey, developing things and finding new things about yourself because, I'm 50 years old and I'm still trying to figure out things. I do have the identification of myself, but I also realize at 50, I'm still able to do certain things that I'm like, wow, I'm shocked. Still shocked of things. And I think as long as we're living, we're able to find out new ventures and new things
Hmm.
about ourselves, and things change too. And that's
Hmm.
that's okay. And we can adapt to change. So that's a wonderful thing. And I'm glad you shared, how you feel about yourself. What about now? I'm Christian, but you know what? Not everybody's Christian, and there's many times that we have, and I have to put this on the table. There's so many different religions, and but that interpretation is different for a lot of people and how you feel. Now, I grew up on the norms of going to church and being Baptist and Christian and whatever the case may be, but
Hmm.
not everybody. And I just know that when things hit my way, I call the prayer or God, and but that might not be for you or someone else. So let me ask you, what is your belief mechanism in religion or something that you believe in?
Yeah. So just a little bit of like background. So I grew up in, I grew up in northern Indiana, and in my family, there was, my grandparents were Christian, still are, and I, knew about um, the Bible and the Christian faith and things like that. And so, although I'm not a religious person myself, I still have a lot of respect for people who are religious, and and very understanding of like belief systems, and having that sort of um, that place to go to find guidance. Um, so I think for me, like um, I am definitely a spiritual person. I do take a lot of things of like uh, Buddhism, and then like a little bit of. So I'm Korean American, and so I do practice some of the um, sort of there are some rituals within uh, Korean culture that I do practice.
Hmm. Wow. That's amazing. I mean, I don't know all about different religions. Like I said, everybody has their own belief mechanism and practices and things they live by, and it
Hmm.
works for you. And I've always going to ask that question because one thing I say doesn't matter to me. It don't matter what religion you are. You're a person. As long as you're not hurting other people, that's how I feel.
Hmm.
And I feel like hurting people is, and I think people can look at that differently. What do hurting people mean? And I mean, when I say hurting people, is to make me feel better just to hurt you and to tear
Hmm.
you down about you and to make me feel better. That's not good.
Hmm.
I don't believe in that. And
Hmm.
that's not the Bible, or that's not how I was raised, to make somebody feel bad about them and so I can feel like a queen. That's not that's not how it works. And that's what I believe. So it doesn't matter to me what religion you are, but as long as you're not hurting people. And I think if we respect people's religion, we respect them as a person and show more love. That's so important. So thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate you on that. And on
Hmm.
that note, we are going to take a brief commercial, and we will be back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. And we will be right back with the handsome Riley Park. Don't go nowhere, folks. We'll be right back. It was because of me having a voice and saying something about what had happened to me, because I can't believe it. I can't believe that these individuals put their good name and their reputation on the line just to hurt somebody because they spoke up. Yes, see, that's what happens when you speak up. I get it, but I'm not fearful because of that. Even though I went through a lot and still go through a lot of things, I got God on my side, and I feel like if that is not enough, then I don't know what it is. Because I'm still standing and I'm still telling my story, and I'm gonna keep on telling stories, and that is why I like film. Because film, you'll be able to express things that you went through, and experiences and people. You'll be amazed what you can do. I'm a human being, but I'm not perfect. And I have my own flaws, but I'm working in progress. And if you're trying to change something, you're able to do it. You have the power, you have the key to your own success. And with that being said, I'm just glad that I'm able to do this and share other people's testimonies. And I'm so glad that there's many guests that I've already had on the show that have expressed their, challenges or what they've been going through or went through in their life. And I say that is because they're not perfect. So it's good that they express that. Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bode and Braid TV network, where we're coming live. We are still with the amazing Riley Park. Come on, Riley. All right, welcome back. Riley, it's always a pleasure when I speak to somebody and as pleasant as you and the things you do. And I know this next question is challenging. But my thing is this, we always go through certain things in our life, and I always want to know, what kind of challenges have you ever went through? Or I mean, you have many, but what's a challenge that you're just like, this was a lot for me to deal with? And how did you deal with it? And how did you get through it? Because that's what all the people want to know. I mean, why? Because they feel like they're singled out as a human flesh here. They're like, well, I've challenges, but he or she is not nothing like me. And I want you to speak to them. What kind of challenges have you ever experienced that was just like, hey, you're not alone?
Yeah, definitely. So, um, there, there have been, in my life, there have been, so many different things that I've kind of gone through and experienced in my life. So, I am a disabled person. I was born with cerebral palsy, and when I was born, I was 2 pounds 14 ounces, and I was about 12 weeks premature. So,
Wow.
yeah, very very small. And so I primarily use a wheelchair as well, primary all the time. I use a wheelchair all the time as sort of to get around and stuff like that. And yeah, there were there are like challenges to that. You know what I mean? There, because the society and the system that we currently live under right now um, is not sustainable, and it is not, it's not accessible. It's not built for all people. Um,
Mhm.
so we going throughout history and stuff like that, we can see like the gains that have been made with like ADA, and the subsequent struggles that took place to get to ADA in 1990. But we still have a long way to go in regards to building a system that is sustainable and is for all people. Um,
Yes.
so when I was in school, it became I noticed that like sometimes there would be like a separation between me and other kids, um, just because of like physical limitations, um, and other things like that. And then just kind of going through school and like having to sort of deal with teachers who were not very understanding or were not very accommodating. That was a very big struggle for me. I know there was a couple times where I was like, I'm getting so frustrated, I'm getting so tired. Like, just, various times where I was like, why am I going to school? Why am I doing this? Because, no one wanted, like, I wasn't getting the help I needed. I wasn't being accommodated in the way I needed, and stuff like that. So, and my I'm very grateful and I'm very lucky that I had my mom who really um, she, like, advocated for me, and
Yeah.
and that's where I take a lot of my the way that I move around in the world now at 26 is from
Oh,
my mother,
wow.
because she is like, and um, she was the advocate for me, and so I now take that on as myself now. Um, so going through grade school, it was a real difficult challenge. Once I got to high school, it got to be a little better. Um, I was um, noticing a lot of things about me. I was on a self journey of myself, so I came out as gay at 14, um, and that was a whole journey in and of itself. It still is to this day. Um, so that going through high school as as being openly out and that sort of thing. Um, and it did come with some challenges, but um, I was able to sort of find my place in the world. And then I got to sort of the end of my high school years, and I was dealing with a lot of different things that were happening. I experienced a lot of I experienced a lot of depression and anxiety um, at that time. Just dealing with so many things, expectations of like what I was supposed to do, frustration because like I noticed that I was like I wanted to do so many things, and because I wasn't able to do it because of like extenuating, like the circumstances in which were not accessible to me, and then just the I wanted independence. I wanted to get out and see the world and stuff like that. It was just a lot of different moving parts that were just like um, that were just kind of happening all at the same time. And so I hit a very low point around 2016, 2017, 2016. Around 2016, I noticed that I was starting like to feel worse and stuff like that. And there was at one point that I did have like um, passing thoughts of suicide, and so um, yeah, having to sort of get I was at a very low point in my life at that point in time, and I was able to sort of move move on, not move on, but like kind of work through that sort of thing. Once I got into college, so in 2017 when I graduated high school, I was able to, make it through everything. And then once I got into undergrad, I started going to therapy, and and I think that was a very pivotal moment for me because I was dealing with a lot of stuff. I was dealing with a lot of stuff from the past, and then I was dealing with like this new environment in which I was at, where I'm by myself and I'm out on my own. Um,
Yes.
in college, so um, I was able to do a lot
And
of work, and I'm still doing a lot of work to
wow.
this
And you know
day.
what? You're You're amazing because we all have challenges, but no one's challenge. We all have different challenges, might be similar to others, but it's still one person's struggle. And it's not a shame to have suicidal thoughts. It's the point is that you did something about that. You seeked counseling, therapy. You knew that you shouldn't be having these thoughts and you should do something. And kudos to your mom, because mothers, and fathers, but we're talking about your mother. And kudos to your mom for helping you be an advocate for yourself. I really, really think that is so important, and bless her heart, because that's what we need. We need power people like that. Never give up, never take no for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And with that being said, we are going to take a brief commercial and we'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Don't go nowhere, and we'll be right back. Because you mentioned and said, I believe in God and I surrendered. And when someone is addicted to something, it's a challenge. It's tough. What was that moment that you said, I can't do it anymore?
Well, in book number 2, I talk about how I've been to prison. My prison number is 589931. I'll have that number for the rest of my life. It's just not a functional number. I talk about how I was delivered from a homosexual lifestyle. I talk about how I had a man that left me for another man. I talk about how I had a man that was HIV but never told me, but I'm sitting here today. I don't have AIDS, HIV. And I have a lot of people always say, your immune system was so strong. No, that was the blood of Jesus that covered me.
Hello, all. Three Corners of Deception movie is now available on Prime Video. How about that? October 14, 2023, on my 50th birthday, I am going to release this, and you guys can go ahead and help me do just that. Go see that movie. Thank you for all the support and not giving up on me. Go see that. Three Corners of Deception. Release me from all the pain and everything I've been through. Go see the movie. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you for all of the support. Go see that movie. Prime Video. Prime Video. How about that? God bless you all. I love you all.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. We're coming live. Yes, we are. We are still with the amazing Riley. Come on in here, Riley. All right, Riley. Going back to what you said, the different challenges you had. And I know there's so many challenges for many people. And you said you're a disabled individual, and that challenge of its own. And what the disadvantage is, many people don't understand. Because I think some people just take advantage that, hey, you're born with all the functions,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you, meet someone who's not, fair to say, you should be blessed. But, I always think that there's people that have disabilities and they are, I want to say, you guys are wizards in your own way, because you have special gifts that other people who have all the body parts or functioning, what we call maybe normal or something. No, you guys got wonderful gifts. I've worked with so many people who have disabilities, and there's things that they know and do that I don't even think I can even touch. And I'm just like, wow. I mean, you're amazing. And I go down and say this because you're a psychology student. You went to high school, you went to college. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
come on. Are you serious? If you didn't tell me and if I didn't know, I have to say, wow. You give me courage to say, wow, are you for real? Because many take advantage of life, like, you have to say this because there's people that may have been born with the functions of their legs and their arms and then get a car accident and then all of a sudden they're disabled or lose their sight or lose an arm or lose a leg, something. And that hope to those people are like, I want to end life. I can't do it. But you've lived like this all your life. And when you share your challenges, it can be done. You gotta still have faith in yourself and fight through it. But one thing that you said that was a key point, therapy, because you got through it, but you know you needed help. and you had your mom to advocate for you, a person that was like your power cheerleader that helped you and motivated you and helped you say, hey, don't give up. Because we not givers. We givers, but we not giver uppers. If that's a
Yeah.
word, I just think I just made that up. Give up uppers. I don't even know if I can say it anymore. My engineer probably laughing at me right now. At least Caleb when he saw it, because I'd be making up words. He'd be like, "Yeah, okay." That might be my East Coast accent. They're in New York, but still, that one I was just trying to make a word. Maybe it'll be in a dictionary one day. I don't know. We'll see. But you know what? You give me motivation and hope on anything. So I commend you, and you are still doing your thing. And that is wonderful. And I want people to understand that he is still doing what he set himself to do. And that's wonderful. So one thing about psychology and about things that we do, we talk about the mind, we talk about, our behaviors and our living mental state of mind. What do you do for self-care? Because everybody has that moment of self-care in their life. And is for that person. But what is those things that you do for self-care that takes care of Riley? Because if I can't do this, I'm not taking care of Riley. No matter how because you being an advocate of yourself, you still got to take care of you. So what is those things that you do?
Yeah, I do various different things. So if I'm really going through it and like I'm stressed out or something like that, I'll just have to like, all right, put down the books, put down the whatever I'm doing. I'm like, all right, I need to take a walk. I need to go outside. I need to decompress. I need to play video games. I need to, uh, like read or something, or just lay down and just stare up at the wall or something, uh, just for something. And I self care is like it's I don't think it's linear. I don't think it's a linear process like step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Um, I think it's just dependent on like various different things and like what the person feels like the process is, and also it's not universal, um, and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, and that was something that I had to learn as I was going through like the beginning of college, because like I was having to um, deal with like classes and stuff like that, a whole new environment, and then like yeah, college was a very was strange but awesome time for me, because although I
Yes.
was stressed out, I was for the first 2 years I was kind of like, I don't know what I want to do, because I was originally pre-med and then dropped that because I just could not for the life of me like understand like the process of it. And then I took that first chemistry class. I'm like, all right, nope, we're done with this. I'm out.
Yeah.
So, but shout out to everybody who goes out, um, who
Mhm.
takes that path of becoming a doctor, someone in the medical field, because it's not easy. Um, and yeah, so I had to learn a lot of techniques for myself of like what made me feel comfortable and what made me feel like, okay, I'm okay, or at least for a little bit I can sort of decompress and stuff like that. Kind
Mhm.
of coming back to I kind of want to like um, speak on like because it kind of ties together. Um, the second question you asked, um, like this journey I've had in my
Mhm.
life, because I don't know, um, because I think for me, like I noticed, like I think as I came out of my teenage years into my 20s, I really started becoming more and more like socially aware, politically aware, and stuff like that, and also finding out things about myself, being like, um, okay, this is what this is, or what this is, the system we live under, or this is, that sort of thing. So, um, yeah, and then when I was in my early 20s, um, I started also, also with my sexual identity, also with my gender identity as well, um, became more, um, with my gender identity. I started becoming, thinking about like, oh, I think, you know, I'm non-binary, and so that was also another journey in and of itself. And so it's been 5 years now since that's happened, and I don't know. I think my life has kind of taken sort of a. I'm just not the same person I was at 20, 21, 22, 23, etc. So,
Yes, and it sounds like you have wisdom, and you have experiences, and you're feeling like a lot stronger than before. We're gonna take a break, but I think, are you the one that said you are a fabulous cook?
yes. I mean, I'm not like world
Because
famous,
you
but
tell I think these are some of the things that you say you like to do. But you know what? We'll come back to that question. And we're going to take a brief commercial. And we'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Don't go nowhere, fam. We'll be right back. It was really hard for me to do that movie sometime because at that time, because 10 years ago is what I went through. It wasn't then. So I had to take, even they say you play yourself. It's not really always easy to play yourself. You have to play yourself 10 years ago when your mind was discombobulated and you felt betrayed. You know what I mean? You felt like, life was just not it. And, not in my situation. And it is based on true events. And, unfortunately, it's about judicial deception, but it's also about romance and drama and divorce. It's something that just went to a different way. But as I changed it and went into a movie. But what's interesting about this situation, people don't understand. It's a flow technique for me. That was my release to finish this movie. It was because of me having a voice and saying something about what had happened to me, because I can't believe it. I can't believe that these individuals put their good name and their reputation on the line just to hurt somebody because they spoke up. Yes, see, that's what happens when you speak up. I get it, but I'm not fearful because of that. Even though I went through a lot and still go through a lot of things, I got God on my side, and I feel like if that is not enough, then I don't know what it is. Because I'm still standing and I'm still telling my story, and I'm gonna keep on telling stories, and that is why I like film. Because film, you'll be able to express things that you went through and experiences and people. You'll be amazed what you can do. Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Brave TV network. Well, we're coming live. I noticed we just freezing back and forth. So I look at myself and I'm like, I thought I smiled. And it looks like, so I was like, wow. Come on, Riley, come on back. This technology is just so interesting. It comes back and I'm like, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And I'm sitting up here moving. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not how I look. Hello. And then it catches up. But what can we do? I mean, it's technology. I mean, we like it, but that's it. I guess people do freeze in their life, but technology really catch you at their moment. You're like, and then you're gone. So it's just weird, you know. So that's interesting. But anyway. I have to laugh. I really do. Okay, you know what? Going back, and so these are things that you enjoy life, and I talked about that beef a little bit. You enjoy cooking. And is this some type of hobby that you do, or and did you say movies? You watch movies or YouTube and stuff like that as well?
Yep.
So these are things that you like to do, and does that give you peace and kind of like calm you down from whatever? Because you're an advocate, and
Mhm.
I like to know something about that. What made you go into being an advocate as well?
Yeah. So, yeah, like I mentioned before, once around 2016, I started becoming more and more politically and socially aware. I had already, like, even before then, I had already had, like, some, like, thoughts and feelings around different things that were happening in the early 2000s. So, like, with the US invasions of Iraq and Afghanistan,
Hmm.
and that whole subsequent period, I kept asking, why is it that there's so much, why was there so much money going into the military budget? The Pentagon, I think nowadays spends like upwards to $1 trillion and even more in military spending, and very few of that like national budget goes towards communities and like funding our communities and various different things. And so that was one thing that I was questioning, like the the invasions of Iraq and Afghanistan, um, and then coming into like when I was in middle school and high school, you know, um, the various um, the the um, the different sorry, hold on, the acts of racist police violence that was
Mm,
happening across the
yeah.
country. And I was in middle school when Trayvon Martin was murdered, and
Hmm.
then when Tamir Rice was murdered, I was in high school, and then you know I kept wondering like the police officers that were in my school, and then like when Trump was on his campaign the first time, saying like all these various like racist things and talking about like building the border, like building the border wall, quote unquote, and then like with the Muslim ban. So these were various different things that were kind of happening around that time, and so I kept questioning like, why is it that there's police in my school? Why is it that um,
And
I
by
had
you
friends who,
questioning that, you wanted to do something about it. Is that why you
yes,
joined the Indie Liberation Center so your voice could be heard in these different
yeah,
issues and concerns?
hmm yeah, I wanted to organize. I wanted to um, become more politically active.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and so I had done some organizing on my college campus, some organizing, but I was wanting more. Um, I wanted to really involve myself in the community, and so I found I joined the Indian Liberation Center and continue to do the various struggles um, that we're involved in and stuff like that, whether it be the struggle for a free Palestine, or when you have um, the mayor's or the mayor's budget, 2025 budget, that is giving more money to police and IMPD and not funding our communities. You know, why is it that they have money for cops but not for like housing, food? healthcare. These are all things that people need. And, you know, I see, like, I think it's like in Indianapolis, like, I think there's like there's a lot of vacant housing. And, like, I think I don't remember the statistic, but, like, you could give every unhoused person in Indy, a house or two. You know what I mean? So, like, there's, like, it's things like that where it's just like, we need money, fund our communities. Why are you funding the
It's a
police?
big job. Yeah. It's a big job because I know the police officers, we need protection, we need housing, we need food, we need a lot of things. And politics, I don't really get deep in it, but I give it kudos to you because you're digging in. And that's wonderful because we do need advocates like yourself to dig in. On that note, we are going to take a brief commercial and we'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Don't go nowhere, fam. We'll be right back with the amazing Riley.
It was an interesting moment for me at the time because I really wasn't seeking someone or anyone, I should say. I just hoped if I did meet someone that they would be a positive person to meet. Everything he was saying and doing was making me fall in love with him.
Custody. A lot of people quit going, that's just how it got to be. But she keeps on fighting and it takes a lot of guts. No justice, no peace!
You two are like two immature cartoon characters.
Objection. Where's any of this evidence of this?
Order! I'm sanctioning you for $15,000.
I have a right to see my son.
This is all about a child. A poor boy born into a battle. Even with your lies, I gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive. This is not justice! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice!
You're trying to have a judge removed.
I'll sanction her for thousands of dollars for coming to court.
How much money is Mr. K-Man, Mr. Geek paying you and your fellow judges to keep this woman away from her child?
Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I've gotta survive, gonna survive. Said I'm gonna survive, gonna survive. Even with your lies.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network, where we're coming live. Oh, yes, we are still with amazing Riley. Riley, come on in here. It's always a pleasure when I never know exactly what my guest is always going to say because sometimes we talk and then things change. But it's amazing and to have you as a guest. We did run out of time. And it seems like we go fast, because we have so much to say, so much that you're doing in the community. So I say kudos to you. I thank you because we need people like you to do things because, many people, we don't believe that we have a voice. And you advocate, but you don't just advocate for yourself. You advocate also for disability people and individuals that's like you. And, there's other challenges that you mentioned. And that is a big plus because we need those people. We need people like you because sometimes we're just afraid. And being afraid doesn't mean you're not human. It just means that maybe somebody else is not as afraid as you and they're ready to jump into the fire. And we're always followers before we realize that we're leaders. So thank you for leading because there's many of the people that's watching and I'm sure they're looking at you as, that's a good leader there. I think I'm going to do what he did. Or I'm going to speak up. I feel comfortable about this, and you just never know. And you're in the world of psychology. You just really don't know who you're helping. And you're helping me too, because I look at life differently when I look at other people when they have been born with disadvantages. And I sit up there and say, wow, my situation ain't nothing compared to what this person went through. And I know we run them comparisons, but I think we should be grateful for what we have and try to work through it. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't whittle down somebody else's challenges. I just think that we shouldn't sweat things as much because somebody else's challenges is a lot bigger. And I have to respect that. So thank you for sharing and caring any challenges in what you mentioned. If you want, how do people get in touch with you and support your mission and things that you do? Can you your social medias or website or anything that you can offer?
Yeah. So I'm gonna plug the Indie Liberation Center, the Indianapolis Liberation Center. You can find us
Yes.
at indieliberationcenter.org. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, um, Instagram, and stuff like that. We're having various different programs. We're having various different events and stuff like that. I do want to plug one that is happening this weekend. So on October 5th, we are joining the International Day of Action uh, for Free Palestine. And yes, so it's going to be at 2 o'clock, October 5th, at Luger Plaza, which is downtown across from the Transit Center. We are saying Free Palestine. We are saying Hands Off Lebanon. We are saying End All U.S. Aid to Israel. And that's
All right. Well, thank you. And I believe in around November 14th, I didn't see it out, but you guys got a fundraiser that's going to take place as well in November 14th. I think it's Indie Liberation Center. I'm not
yes,
I think that's the date. Okay.
I
So we're
think so.
looking out for that. All right. Look out for that. Thank you, Riley, again for being a guest on the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. And if you're looking for the Dr. Meleeka Clary, like I said before, I have to be grateful, just grateful for people sharing and caring. And that's what we're here, folks, is sharing is caring, and love is what we need to find. Stop with the hatred. Let's find love. Let's stop judging people. Let's find love. Because I think just because you don't like the way somebody acts or thinks, okay, show them love and move on. That's the best thing that I can give advice, because everyone is entitled to their own opinion and preference. But if you show love and just move on and don't take it to heart because you can't change somebody else. I try to help people, but that's because I'm a psychologist. But I've always tried. But at the end of the day, you gotta love people for who they are. And if you're looking for the Dr. Meleeka Clary, you can find me on my website or my social medias. And if no one said it to you today, I love you. I care about you as a person and as a human being. And I want you to have a wonderful rest of the day and to enjoy the weekend to come. And please take care of yourself, because that's what we need to do as human beings. God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in.
You've been watching the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Tune in next week as Dr. Meleeka will help you shift towards a better life. But this show doesn't stop there. She'll provide helpful tips regarding surviving the entertainment industry and the judicial system with practical information. Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, here on the Bold Brave TV.